Hello, it's me,
Steve.
and it was a beautiful cloudless day, and now it's clouding over and getting a bit dark. But
it'll be darker than ever.
yeah, so we're gonna make this fairly quick. You can see behind us, isn't that beautiful? That's Edinburgh Castle.
Point finger. There. Castle.
Oh, you're so good at that, dear.
Yeah, I know.
Today we are going to show you the Royal Mile. I am biased. This is one of my favorite places on the planet. When I was a tourist, I fell in love with it. It starts here at the castle and goes down actually more than a mile to Holyrood Palace. So we're running out of time, but I want to point out some of the best things on the Royal Mile to do, look at, see. There are shops, there are pubs, there are museums, there's everything. And the history.
Well, the best thing I kind of think you might not.
So the coolest history, yeah. I've never even noticed. There is a site called royal-mile.com that has helped me plan this. And if I don't freeze from the wind, then we'll get to the end of the mile. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, pan around.
Okay.
Okay, here.
There's the castle, obviously. Showing the cloud over there that's moving. And that cloud over there, it was perfectly beautiful today. Not a cloud in the sky. When we got here, it clouded over a bit. But that's okay.
Cold.
So we'll get this done. It looks like there's a fog coming in. I love Edinburgh when it's foggy, so I'm okay with that. But let's get to the mile. We'll show you some of the best places. Now, one of my favorite places that I didn't even know about until just now, this makes me so sad though, is a memorial to women who were burned at the stake as witches. Let's go see that first. This fountain commemorates the people executed here for witchcraft in the 1500s and 1600s. They estimate 300 women. And that was just here. There were people executed all over Scotland, all over America too, actually. But I think that's absolutely stunning and a beautiful fitting tribute.
Fountain, you'll find it leaving them.
Which is literally just as you walk up to the castle esplanade. On the other side of the esplanade is a cannonball. Okay, the cannonball that Steve's pointing to, thank you, is sticking out of Cannongate House. And there are two theories as to why there's still a cannonball in there. One is that it was shot towards Holyroodhouse, which is more than a mile down the road, so it didn't get very far, when Bonnie Prince Charlie was there. More than likely, it's to measure the fresh water mark for Edinburgh, which is very boring. So I'm going to pretend that was shot at Bonnie Prince Charlie.
Well, they would never even at Holyrood.
No, they wouldn't have reached They wouldn't have reached anywhere near Holyrood, but
the other theory is that the cannonball is at the same height above sea level where Edinburgh used to be.
oh, but see, that is so boring. So we'll just pretend
Dull but accurate.
It was shot at Bonnie Prince Charlie. Now, here's the mile. Our next stop is going to be just down there. That white-topped building is Camera Obscura. Oh, first, this is the tartan weaving mill and experience.
Where you'll find the fountain.
Yes, that's where the witch's fountain is, right on the side over there. Now let's go to Camera Obscura. This is the Scotch Whisky experience. It's apparently the world's largest collection of Scotch whiskey. You can come in, you don't have to buy anything. You can explore. I think there's a little museum type area. I haven't been in a while, but if you're interested in whiskey, like the making process, that kind of explains it right there.
Yeah, that's a little ride.
A little ride?
Yeah.
I've never done that.
Yeah.
And there's a restaurant. This is Camera Obscura. I have actually never been here, but my sister went when she came to visit and said it's a really cool place, especially on a nice day. They have views over Edinburgh from a pinhole camera.
Yeah, look, you can get right up the top. Like,
You can get up to the top. Oh yeah, there are people up there now.
Up there. Yeah.
So beautiful views, and there's some cool stuff going on over here.
A little bit optic. Well worth the trip.
Well worth the trip.
One of the few things on the mile.
Hey, I love the mile. You hush it.
No, in terms of things to go and do, this is one of them.
And it is just down from the castle. Take a few steps, and then that's the rest of the mile. Let's get going. Just down from the castle, you will find a gorgeous, it looks almost Gothic to me because it's so dark, church that is now the festival center. If you're here for the festival, you can get tickets. There's a cafe inside, and I'll show you the castle's just up that way. So you're really, really close. And the festival, there are several, but the International Festival runs through August. It is the busiest time of the year here. It's crazy, crazy.
Yeah, this is the International Festival hub. It's not the...
Right, not the Fringe Festival.
Not the Fringe.
There are several festivals going on at the time in August, several, and there are millions of people who come to visit. Just up there, see if I can find it. Up there is the home of a very famous YouTuber. Okay, not famous, but you're watching me. I lived there when I was a student. This is Milnes Court. And underneath Milnes Court, right there, is Ensign Yacht. That has been here since 1680.
Yep, that date is absolutely 100%. Yeah.
And it is the cutest little pub. We haven't been in very often, but it's adorable.
Yeah, going out, but yeah, so if you've walked the castle.
That's the castle.
Yeah, so I don't recommend going in there.
That's Ensign Yacht.
Yeah.
And that is Milnes Court. I lived here when I got my master's degree a couple of decades ago now. I mean, a couple years ago now. Gosh, time flies, I'm telling you. But it was a great place to live for the year. Had such a good time. I love my roommates. I still love them. So that may not be something you'll notice. No tour guide will point that out, but I will. What I'll call the top end of the mile, up here by the castle, has quite a few shops, pubs, like the Whisky Trail Specialist, House of Cashmere. They're a bit more expensive than some of the other places.
A bit better quality than...
Yeah. These are better quality than the ones you'll get down just a little bit further. But they're a bit expensive. So Deacon Brodie was the inspiration for Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And it's a super popular pub here just down from the castle. It is very touristy and I think quite expensive.
Yeah,
but
okay, if you're a tourist,
it's interesting, yeah. Have one drink and then move on.
yeah, it is expensive for what you get.
Yeah, I think so
don't
too.
find any local in there, but yeah, if you're here in Edinburgh and you're here on a trip,
It's worth going in, yeah. This is St Giles Cathedral. And there's a busker just across from it. And while that's quite quaint when you're a tourist, when you live here, it really sounds bad. Because you get used to hearing good bagpipes. And most buskers aren't the very best. No offense to him. But that St Giles Cathedral, I'll tell you more about it on the other side. So just down from the statue is the heart of Midlothian. It is where there was an old toll booth prison, and this was the entrance. It is also where many prisoners were executed. That's why it's in the shape of a heart. It's in the memorial to the prisoners that were executed. If you'll notice, in the middle there's a lot of spit. There's some reason people spit here, but I cannot remember
No, I can't.
I've been told several times. I can't remember. I'll see if I can look it up for you. This is inside St Giles. There is a £2 photo fee. Please do not film or take photos without it. But it is stunning. I once saw a concert in here, and wow, are the acoustics incredible. It's a beautiful place. It was founded in 1124. And as I mentioned before, John Knox preached here. He is the father of Presbyterianism, which then became the Church of Scotland. Or I should say the Church of Scotland became the Presbyterian Church in the US. I did a paper on him. That's why I know these things. I know some really random stuff. But it's gorgeous in here. This is one of the small chapels. It's absolutely stunning. Here's John Knox. Tells you a bit about him. So it is still a working cathedral. They do have services, and this is their opening at times, which is usually 9 to 5, except Sunday is 1 to 5. I know that's hard to read. Bye. This is the Market Cross. It centered the middle of the market back, I believe it was the 1400s. And you will notice on top there, they had a unicorn. That is the national animal of Scotland. I kid you not. The unicorn.
Yeah,
the non-existent but gorgeous unicorn.
there you go.
This is a well, or used to be, and people would come to get their drinking water here until the 1800s. There are a few of them up and down the mile. I've never actually noticed the weird face on this one before. This is the Tron Chart. It's now used as a tourist information center. There's Steve doing some filming. And last I was in here, they had little stalls, like little shops. Really, really cute stuff. Local stuff. This is the Museum of Childhood. It is a fascinating museum, even if you don't have children. It's kind of a blast from the past. It is a huge building. It is also the best place to use the restrooms on the mile if you need to. And it's about halfway down the mile, maybe not quite that far.
Yeah, about halfway.
Are we about halfway?
Yep, yep.
Over there, another set of wells. Almost said whales. They're not whales.
No.
It's a well.
Wellhead, or whatever they call it. Yeah.
And then beyond that, with the white and brick facade, that is the John Knox house. It is a museum.
Yeah.
And you can go in. I've actually never been in. With the John Knox house kind of attached to it there, the more modern looking building is the Scottish Storytelling Centre. Off the mile, there are all of these closes. A lot of them lead to residential areas. Some lead to restaurants, pubs. This one is beside the World's End pub. So the World's End pub was situated right by the toll booths. These gold bricks indicate where the toll booth was located, and there's one on that side. And then the city walls would have been right here. They're gold bricks. Yeah, don't go out in traffic. So because it was situated here, it's called the World's End Pub. Because if you couldn't afford to pay the toll where you could come and go, this was the end of the world as you knew it. That was pretty much the end of your world. Yeah. This is your whole world.
Yeah, for people who lived in Edinburgh.
Yeah, the city of Edinburgh.
Inside the wall.
Inside the walls.
If you couldn't pay,
You were
went
stuck.
out and couldn't pay to get back in.
You were stuck.
You were stuck, yeah.
So
Yeah.
Your world ended right here if you didn't want to leave and never come back.
Well, if you didn't have any money to get back in,
That's what I'm saying.
your world ended. Yeah. Right. 4 feet that way.
It's also, sadly, quite well known
What?
for something else. Sadly, it's also known more recently because 2 women were drinking here one evening and they never made it home and they were murdered on their way home. And it's quite famous. Is it solved now?
No.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was unsolved for a number of years. So, the city walls were erected after the Battle of Flodden in 1513. Each part of a mile has a separate name. Like up where I lived by the castle was Lawn Market. And this, you're just entering Canongate. So I'm guessing this toll booth was for Canongate. It's beautiful though. Love that clock. Inside the Canongate toll booth is the People's Story. Free entry. That's always nice. And then beside it is the Cannongate Kirk or church. Opened in 1691. According to that sign, King James VII ordained, I guess made it a proper church, 1688.
Yeah.
Now, around to the side, oh, and it's around to this side too. One moment, I'll try not to make you too dizzy. There is a kirkyard, and there's a board with a list of famous people. I think the best known, Adam Smith.
Yeah, everybody else kind of local
Famous
Edinburgh.
people.
Yeah.
Adam Smith was, well, I remember laissez-faire.
Yeah, like the founder of modern economics, basically, capitalism. Yeah.
And then, who else?
Robert Ferguson.
Robert Ferguson, who is?
Who basically, like Robert Ferguson, you probably wouldn't have Robert Burns, he wouldn't have Auld Lang Syne and all that.
So was he a poet before Burns?
Yeah, Ferguson was a poet that nobody's probably ever heard of, but
And
Ferguson inspired Burns to become a poet.
So he inspired Burns, and we now have Auld Lang Syne because of it.
Many of us.
Well, yeah, Red Rose and something about haggis. I'm not really up on my Robert Burns, I'll be honest. But that's the kirkyard, and that's the church. It is down the Royal Mile, probably 3/4 of the way.
Near the end, yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, somebody from the royal family got married here. I think it might have been Zara Phillips, but I'm not certain. I can't remember now. So right by the fence, there's a list of people who are buried and where they're buried. I'm sorry, this is a terrible view of it. But it gives you some, oh, there's Robert Ferguson. Steve was right, not that I doubted him. Oh, Adam Smith, author of Wealth of Nations. They're composers, Lord Provosts, etc. And this is Robert Ferguson that Steve was just telling us about. Lovely little statue. There's a free Museum of Edinburgh just across from the Cannongate Kirk. This is the Scottish Parliament. Now you'll notice it doesn't look as old as the other buildings. It's new and very modern. It officially opened in 2004. It was designed by a Spanish architect, Eric Morales. A lot of people didn't like it, a lot of people did. It is different, but to me, it sums up Edinburgh. It's new, it's modern, it's pushing forward into the new millennium, into the future, but it sits right with the old, beautifully. And the juxtaposition between brand new, modern, forward-looking, and ancient and beautiful is no stronger anywhere in the world, I think, than right here, because that is Holyrood Palace, which has the remains of Holyrood Abbey. I said remains, I meant ruins. But you don't understand what I mean. 1128 for both the palace and the abbey. It is still used by Queen Elizabeth today when she's in Edinburgh, and there are garden parties there every summer. So it may be ancient, but it's still used today. And then back behind it, speaking of ancient, is an extinct volcano, Arthur's Seat. Walking up Arthur's Seat will give you stunning views of the city. Absolutely gorgeous. Palace of Holyrood House. Well worth the visit. Very interesting. It's closed, so I'll see if I can get between the bars here. There's also a tea room. Maybe we'll do a video there someday. And then back there, the little, see if I can point it out right there, I believe is the ruins of the Abbey. There, slightly better look at the Abbey, the ruins of. It's well worth the visit. I loved it. Hi, this is Frozen V and Steve.
Yeah, cool.
It's gotten dark. It's gotten cold. But we made it all the way down the mile. We just touched on the big things, really. There's so much, honestly, so much to do here. Hold on, I gotta switch arms. So we made it all the way down the mile. We just touched on some of the bigger things, but there's so much to do that my lips are numb. Pardon if I'm slurring my words. There's history, there are shops, there are tea rooms, ice cream, you name it. Pubs, new fancy bars, everything, restaurants, you name it. To me, the mile sums up Edinburgh. It's old, it's new, it's dynamic, it's changing, it's the same. I love the mile, and I love the city, as you can tell. I hope. Thank you all so much for joining us. My lips are numb and it's cold.
Yeah.
And we are headed home where the heat is on. Thank you all so much for joining us. Really, really hope you enjoyed it. Hit that subscribe button. Thank you.